Under intense United States pressure, building and development of many communities in Judea and Samaria has been frozen for a few years already. We visited the town of Neve Tzuf, where building has been frozen following a petition by the radical left Peace Now organization. Neve Tzuf was developed years ago, and now the children of the original inhabitants want to build their own homes in the town. But the foreign-funded Peace Now organization has been using minor issues to prevent the completion of the new homes.
The story started actually many years ago when the Jewish agency allocated land for the entire community. Among the area it allocated was also this area. So the young couples are living in caravans, in temporary housing, which is truly temporary. Some of them have been living there for several years after they're married. They came as young couples, they have 1 or 2 children. The conditions are not good. They assume there is no reason not to allow us to build. These are all children of families who grew up in the Yishuv and want to build their homes here. They live here, they work here, their families are here, and it just seems an act of malice to stop the building, especially when they knew it was happening. They didn't try it at an earlier stage. They waited till their money was in the ground, and then they said, stop the building, you have to complete the building process. There's no doubt, though Shalom Achshav, Peace Now, who appealed against us to the Supreme Court, doesn't claim that the land belongs to anyone. The land belongs to Neve Tzuf. We all agree on that, we and Shalom Achshav. But they say you haven't completed all the procedures for legal building permits. Our answer is we did. We submitted all the forms. There were no objections to our building here. No one claims the land. We in Peace Now agree on that. No one else claims the land.
Despite the fact that problems with building permits would normally be referred to local councils, Peace Now took their complaint to the Israeli Supreme Court.
Why the Supreme Court? For a building matter? It should go to a local council of building and planning. The Supreme Court, for some reason which we can't understand, became involved and stopped the building here on 11 out of 12 of the houses.
The sudden attack on building in Judea and Samaria may have been connected to Prime Minister Netanyahu's trip to the United States.
Netanyahu was in the States, and they felt it could embarrass him greatly to talk about building that they called illegal. It's not illegal in the real sense. It's our land. The building plans were submitted. There was no opposition. It's a procedural matter. They just have to put the stamp on it. There's no reason not to. And I feel this going at a time to get the president of a foreign country, Obama, who is not pro-Israel, involved in our building is not an act of a patriotic Israeli. If they cared about this country, they wouldn't do it in a way that would shame the entire country and pick on an area which there is no legal or moral basis for stopping the building.
President Shimon Peres, who has long been known as being less than sympathetic to the Jewish communities of Judea and Samaria, stated to U.S. President Obama a complete halt of expansion of communities in Yesha was an impossible demand.
The President of Israel, Mr. Shimon Peres, was not always seen as a great friend of settlements, although he gets a lot of credit for establishing settlements in his time too. But when he was in America, he said to President Obama, "Do you mean to tell us we should tell our children not to get married and not to have children? That's impossible. We can't do it. Not in the settlements either." And I say too, that's impossible. It's immoral. We can't do it. Our children will get married, they will have children, and they will build houses here near their parents.